What's up everyone, I'm Andrew and this is another Elementor tutorial. In this tutorial we are going to create a complete WordPress website using Elementor from scratch. So let's get started. So here I have a fresh installation of WordPress and we are going to create a website for a fictional moon travel agency, fictional space travel agency, and we are going to use Elementor and only free tools. So let's get started. So I'm just going to install a theme because the theme is of course very important. We are going to use Neve here, which is a really cool theme, but you are free to use any theme that you like. So here we have Neve installed, and of course we want to do some basic configuration that we always do. So of course we want to create a page for our home page and also a page for the blog, which we'll call it Space News, and we want to make the permanent links beautiful like always. But first let's install Elementor. So I'm just going to install it. We are also going to use one or two other plugin add-ons, one for contact form and one for basic content that we are going to use in Elementor. So let's just first install Elementor. So now we have Elementor. I'm not going to activate it because I'm going to install two other plugins. So one is Contact Form 7 for our contact form. And one is a Kanban plugin for Elementor. So Kanban Elementor. So this is the Kanban timer for Elementor. And if you're using Elementor Pro, both of these features, so both Kanban and contact form are available, are built-in Elementor. You might get more features if you use a plugin, of course, like Contact Form 7, but they are available for Elementor in the Pro version. So here we are only using the free version, which is just very cool and enough but for what we are doing. But you can also use the Pro version, and then you have a built-in Kanban timer, and also it has a basic built-in contact form. So it's just the matter of choice. And here we have it activated. You also want to activate Contact Form 7 and also Elementor. So I'm just going to skip this like always and also exit the editor for now. So now we are going to create two pages, one for the home page and one for the Space News. So I'm just going to bring pages and add new. And here we want to add a page for our home page. So I'm just going to call it home. And also if I just click here at this N symbol, I have the setting for Neve. If you're using another theme, of course, it's different. We usually use Astra for our tutorials, but here we are going to use Neve, and here I can disable title because I do not want to have title for my home page. So it's fine. I can just publish and it's okay. We're also going to add another page for the blog. So I'm just going to call this Space News. And again, I disable the title and publish. It's also fine. We also want to add two other pages, one called Stories and one called Safety. So these are two other pages that we are going to create for our moon travel agency. So let's just add this one. So Stories. Again, disable the header and publish. And one is going to be called Safety. Some safety facts here. So now we have our 4 pages. We also do not need this Elementor graph, so I'm just going to remove it. We do not need this sample page. So it's fine. The stories is basically safety and home. And we want to make sure the URLs are nice and readable. So we just have to bring setting and permalinks. And like always, we are going to use post name and save changes. Also, we are going to bring reading and select a static page for our homepage, which is going to, of course, be our homepage, and also space news for our post page. Fine, I can just save changes. And now if I visit my website, we have this empty page for our homepage. We have our links here, home, safety, space news, and stories. So everything is fine. Of course, we didn't add a menu here, so it's just showing them by default, but I usually add a menu here so that we have full control of our menu. So I'm just going to call it main, and we can just add our pages here. So home, space news, safety, and stories. Save the menu, and now we are fine and good to go. So before getting to Elementor, there are some other things I'm going to do with the new theme. So first, I'm just going to bring customizer and make it a dark website. So if I just bring colors and background, I'm just going to use dark mode here. Fine. Also, we are going to change this dark background to a fully black, so like this, and also site background. So both of them should be completely black. For this purpose, of course, you are just free to use any kind of background that you want, but this black just works very good with this new theme. So it's fine. And we want to put our logo here, of course, so I can just click on the customizer again and click on this logo. Of course, this is the tagline of our website, but we want to replace it with our logo. So I'm just going to turn off show site tagline, show site title, and upload our own logo here. So I have just created a basic logo for our company. So this is logo.png. I can just select it. And it's here. We want to make it a little bigger like this. So we have the logo, and I can just publish. So now it's just a basic looking website, very fine. And we also have our pages which are empty. So also for the stories, it seems that we do not have the header. I think I disabled header instead of title, so let's just fix it very quickly. And now we have the stories, space news, safety, and home. Of course, we want to populate the space news section with some blog posts. So it's not about Elementor. We're not going to use Elementor for populating our posts, but we want to have some posts here. So I'm just going to do it very quickly. So now I have just created some blog posts so that it does not look empty. And as you can see, this new theme does a really good job creating grid. So it's just fine. And now we can start building our pages with Elementor. So we want to build the stories page, the safety page, and of course the home page. So let's start with the home page. So I'm just going to edit this page and click on edit with Elementor. So here we have the Elementor editor. Of course, I have this navigator here. If you're not seeing a navigator, you can just click on this navigator here, and I'm just going to put it on the right so it's easy to access. And now we want to start building the whole website. So the first thing I want to do is to just have a hero section here. We want to have a big text advertising our company, and also a video background. So you can have sliders, but sliders are really getting old. So we want to have a video background and a text in front of it. So let's just add it. I'm just going to click here and add a full width section here. Of course, it's not full width by default, but we can just change it into full width. like this. And now I want to put the video background. So I have just downloaded the video which we are going to use. But if you have tried to use videos as backgrounds, you probably know that when we bring background and select classic and select video, we want to put the link here. So we cannot upload it directly here. We have to upload it first somewhere and then put the link here, but it's very easy to do. So I'm just going to bring my admin panel and of course, as you can guess, media and add new. So we are going to add our video here. So let's just bring it. This is our video. And now I can just click on it and then just copy this URL. And now I can just bring Elementor, put the URL here, and as you can see, the video is playing, so it's just fine. But of course, the width is very short. So what we can do here is to just select the section and bring layout, and we want to set the height into min height. So we would have a minimum height here, and we can just use VH, which stands for viewport height. So it's the percent of viewport height. So something like just 80 would just work for me. So I can just update it. And now let's just visit the page and see how it looks. So as you can see, we have a problem here. This earth is just, the earth is cropped here, and it's fine on Elementor, but here it's not working. This is very easy to fix. You can add some padding here. So whenever you have such problems, you probably want to add padding. So here I can just select the section and bring advanced and padding. I want to switch to EM and just add some padding here for the whole section. So EM and some padding, something like this is just good. Of course, it's bringing the earth very down. And what we want to do is to just bring layout and just reduce the minimum height, because we have the padding and it's just doing the work. So something like this, let's just update it. And now if I just refresh my page, we have a little problem here. So let's just increase the padding a little. So I can just bring advanced and increase the padding a little, and also reduce the viewport height. So something like this. Let's just update. We have to play with this setting to find a good one. Nope. Like this. And it's just fine. It's working here. So it's just fine. I can just reduce the padding a little bit, I think. So it's just fine. So we have our video background, and now I can just put my text in front of it. So this is actually the hero section. So let's just call it hero. I always name my elements so they are very easy to find and use. So this is our hero section, and now I can just put my heading here. So let's just type safest flight from Earth to Moon and vice versa. So it's just fine, and we want to make it bigger, of course, and white. So let's just select a white color, and we want to make it bigger, but we are going to use EM, which is much better for responsive sizes and typography. So something like this. So now I'm just going to reduce the padding a little. So something like this, because I'm not totally satisfied with how it's looking. I think now it's just better. Of course, it's a little different what we get here, but it's just fine here. And it's also very important to make sure that it's looking good on all devices. So here we have this responsive mode. This is of course the desktop version. We have the tablet version, which is looking awful, and the mobile version, which doesn't have any text on it. So it's easy. The problem is with the padding, so we can just fix it. So we can just bring tablet, and now I can just change the paddings. So setting paddings with EM is something that we really want to care about because of the responsive and different sizes. So here, if we want to reduce the padding to probably 0. So the video is of course very large here on this device, but it's fine. So we can just reduce the padding here as well. Okay, the text is very large, so we want to make it smaller. So I can just select typography and EM and make the text smaller. Now it's looking better. So okay, we have padding also on column. So we had padding on column and a hero. So let's just give some padding to the column, but smaller. So something like this. So now it's looking better. And now the tablet is fine, because the problem was this padding. So you really want to play with the paddings, but now it's just looking fine on all devices. So you want to make sure that you adjust the padding both on column and the section and the heading. So now it's just fine on all devices. Okay, now it's just looking much better. So as you can see, we have this earth here, and on mobile and tablet and desktop, it's just looking pretty much good. But the padding is really a lot on this desktop version. So we have the padding for the column, which we do not want, so we want to set it to 0, and the padding so you really have to play with these settings here. So let's just update and visit it. So now it's just looking very cool, and we can just start building other sections of our website. So here we can just put a countdown for our next travel here. This is the idea that we had from the beginning. So let's just bring our countdown timer. As you can see, this is the default Elementor countdown, which is only available in the Pro version, but we have this countdown timer coming from our plugin, which just looks very cool, as you can see. So we have it here. So we can choose the date here. It's just fine. It's almost a month, but you can just set the date here, and we can style it here. So everything just looks cool for me. So let's just move on. So we have the timer, and of course we want to have a heading here indicating the timer is for our next flight. So let's just add a heading here, and we are going to type next flight, and let's just center it and change the color. So this is fine. Also we want to have some margin here. So margin is a space around the element, because we do not want to have a very dense layout. So this is just looking better. And we have the countdown timer, and we want to also put a button here, a call to action button. So let's just do it. So let's just search for button, put it here, and we want to type learn more. And we can just put the link here. So let's just let's say grab the link for safety. Of course you probably want to have a separate page, but the safety is just good. So let's just put the link here, safety, and update. And now I can just bring style and of course change the style. So I want it to be white with a black text. So let's just do it. So white button with black text, and of course we want to increase the border radius using probably EM. So something like this, and increase the padding a little. And now I can just center align my button and also make it a little larger. So let's just select the text, and we want to make it larger so that the button gets larger like this. And also we don't have any hover state here. Let's just create one. So I want to switch into hover mode, and I want to just basically reverse the color. So we would have white color for the text and black color for the background. So this would just look like this, and we can just duplicate and use this button in any other place that we want. So that's just fine. So now that we have our counter, we can just create our contact form, which is going to be the last thing we are adding to this home page. So let's just do it. I'm just going to create a 2-column layout because I want to have the contact form on the left and some text and probably an image on the right. So let's just do it. So we have it here, and on the right I'm just going to, as I said, add an image and also a text editor. I usually do not do this. I usually have the contact form in full width, but here I'm just going to add this image here and some text, for example, how you can reach us, or what services we offer, or anything like this. And then we can just add the contact form. So let's just bring the admin panel and contact. And here we have this default contact form. If you haven't used contact form 7, we have good tutorials on how to use it. I'm just going to copy this shortcode. We want to just use this basic contact us here, and then I can just put the shortcode here. So I have to add a shortcode widget, a shortcode element, and then I can just paste the shortcode. So we get the contact form here, and we have it on desktop, and then on tablet, and on mobile. So it's just fine. And mobile, we want this image and text to become to be above the contact form, and it's very easy to do. So Elementor has this option. The only thing we have to do is just select the section here. Let's just call it contact form. And now I can just select advanced and responsive and reverse columns on mobile. So here, as you can see, the columns are reversed, and we have this above, which is super cool and nice. So we have our contact form, and we can just update our page and also visit it here. Super nice. So this is our front page. Now we want to create the 2 other pages, the safety page and a story. So we want to put some of our customers' stories here, and some facts about safety here. They would be somehow similar in the layout. So we want to have a bunch of stories here and a bunch of features or safety features of our moon travel services here, but there would be some differences as well. So let's just do it. So here I can just close this editor, we do not need it, and I'm just going to bring the stories first and edit page and edit with Elementor. And here we want to have a 2-column layout, or maybe let's just do it a 3-column layout. So we want to have stories on a 3-column of stories, and then we want to have a heading, and of course an image and a text editor for each story. And then we can just type. For example, let's just call it Moon Girl, the story of a girl who went to the moon. So Moon Girl, capitalize the M, and then we can just add the image. Let's just upload it. So this is for the Moon Girl. like this, and we can just change the color of the heading. So let's just do it. We want it to be white, and also white text here. Super nice. So we have Moon Girl, and now I can just duplicate this. So this makes it much faster to create our layout. So I can just remove these columns. Now we know we want to have 3 column layout, so I can just duplicate this 2 times. So we have 3 Moon Girl, and also I can just duplicate the section, so we have 2 sections. So here we can just replace the images with the images that we want. So it just makes the process much faster. And also we want these images to look identical in size. So we want to have a custom size, maybe let's just say 500 times 500. And then we can just apply it to all of them. So I probably should have done it before copying it, but we can just do it. So let's just add other images. So as you can see, it's not the same size, but as soon as I change it, so bring custom and 500 times 500, it's just going to work. And Elementor is just cropping the image, so it's not changing the aspect ratio. So that's super cool. So it's not distorting the image. Some editors do it, so you cannot just simply type 500 times 500, but here is just fine. So we can just do it for this custom 500 times 500. And then we want to change this as well. Okay, we had it before, but it's just fine. 500 times 500. And finally, our last image. Let's just select this one. So we want to change it into 500 times 500. So now we have our images. Of course, all of them, the text is the same, and we have Moon Girl, but we can just change it. For example, we want to have Moon Boy here, and call this one the Discovery. Okay, fine. So we can just have, for example, Moonwalker here. So it's just fine. We have our stories here, and as you can guess, they will just look very good on tablet and mobile. So Elementor is just doing the job very great. So it's just looking fine on tablet and mobile. So that's fine. That's all we need for our stories page. And then we want to create our safety page. So let's just close the editor, bring WP admin. Of course, we can just check stories. Everything's just looking great. You can make them clickable. So if you want to, for example, you can create custom post types for these stories. We have a full tutorial on how you can use custom post types, but for here it's just enough. So you can just put anything you want in the text section because we have shorter stories here. And now we want to create our safety page. So here it's going to be similar, but 2-column layout. So let's just add it. I'm just going to click on edit page and then edit Elementor. And now we want to have a 2-column layout, and the heading and image. Okay, let's just have it such that we have the image on the left and then text on the right, and then reverse it. So text on the left, image on the right. So that's something cool, I think, for this kind of layout. So we have bigger images. So I can just remove this heading. So we have image on the left and then heading and text on the right, like this. And let's just style it. Then we can just duplicate the whole section and reverse the order. So here we have the image and the text. So let's just make it white and then also make this white. And let's just select an image. So here I have two PNGs for our safety. We are going to use them. They have transparent backgrounds, which is super cool. So we can now have a full background image for the whole page. We will apply it soon. So this is our first, and let's just make it as a little bigger. So we want to add more content to it first, and also let's just make it bigger like this, and then I can just duplicate the whole section. And first let's just have maybe a gradient for the first column, for the image column. So let's just bring a style. This is completely optional. I'm just doing some experimental features here, some experimental design here. So here we can just select the style and background and gradient, and let's just have a blue color here, and we want the second color to just be completely transparent, so something like this. And the first one, let's just control the transparency for the first one, something like this. And let's just change the color, so something like this. And also let's just have some border radius, so let's just have some like 30, and you can just update. And now I can just duplicate the whole section and also reverse the column. So this is our first section, and here in the second section we can just reverse the columns and change the image, of course. So we want to use this one here, and maybe we can just play with the gradient a little bit. So I can just select the column style, and here we can just change the angle or maybe the color, so like this. And also we can just apply a full background image, again experimental. So let's just bring the setting for the whole page and a style, and we can just have a background. Let's just select one, let's just upload. So what do we have here? So this half moon is just, I think, suitable. So we have it here. Let's just change the position, so it should be center, and cover. It just looks not bad here. So now we can just type anything we want here. So super safe space ships, and maybe emergency features. I don't know really what that means. So now it's just fine. We want to, of course, have some margin on the top, so it's just touching it here. So let's just have some margin for the top elements. I'm just going to select EM and like this, and also some top margin for the second element, like this. Fine. So it's just good. We can add other features the same pattern, so it's just, I think, not bad. It's good. And now we are done. So we have the front page, we have the safety section and the space news, which is holding our blog posts and also stories. So this is our complete website, and it's completely responsive, completely built with Elementor and also free technologies. And that's it, everyone. Thanks for watching. If you like this tutorial, please give it a thumbs up and also subscribe to our channel for more WordPress content. And like always, you can reach our team from the link in the description.